In 2004, Gordon Ramsay established a show in which he raids dirty kitchens with the intention of setting them on the right path. In this video, you can watch about a few of those dirty kitchens, so prepare to feel nauseated as you comprehend the filth that these restaurants make people eat. But before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on anything. Number 1. Dillon's. On a scale of 1 to 10, Dillon's has to be a solid 50 in terms of disgustingness. Gordon was served old lamb with a side of older potatoes for his meal at the New York City Indian restaurant, and when he headed into the kitchen to confront the chef, he was shocked at what he found. The entire area was littered with fly papers, covered with dead flies. There was a pot of sauce that had long gone moldy, along with green chicken and burgers growing their very own fungi. The basement wasn't any better. When Gordon headed into the murky depths below the restaurant, he immediately stumbled upon tons of cockroaches and rat food. But at least there weren't a lot of traps to try to catch the suckers. Gordon sued the restaurant for all this, but the case was thrown out of court. Unsurprisingly, the restaurant closed 2 years later. Number 2. Secret Garden. Secret Garden might have a charming name, but the California French restaurant has some awful things lurking in its debts. French chef Mikhail Bar-David was over $300,000 in debt when he called in the help of the world's most popular cook, but even Gordon wasn't sure if he could be saved. After an overwhelming meal, Gordon inspects the kitchen and is disgusted with what he finds, and he vomits. The fridge was covered in moldy food, and is growing on its own on the metal racks and shelves. The potatoes are infested with maggots, and Gordon questions whether the place should be even open. The owner tried to justify himself, saying that no kitchen is perfect. Its doors closed in 2016. Number 3. Old Neighborhood Restaurant. If you have a weak stomach, you might want to stop reading, because what you're about to listen to is not for the faint of heart. From the outside, the Old Neighborhood Restaurant in Nirvana, Colorado looks like a pretty quaint and harmless place to be. Unfortunately, for anyone that ever eats there, they probably unknowingly got a side of bacteria with their main dish. It was quite obvious from the interior of the establishment that cleanliness was not high on their priority list for owner Randy, but even hardened Gordon was taken aback at the state of the kitchen. The walk-ins were stacked high with different types of food, with meats being stored next to vegetables, along with a high risk of cross-contamination. There was a dead mouse and plenty of yummy molds. The entire place was in such a state that Gordon thought it might be beyond help. Still though, he helped them. Randy and his wife sold the business 2 years later. Number 4. Troviano's. There are thousands of eateries in New York, and not all of those are going to be A-rated. Unfortunately for the Italian restaurant Troviano's, they could barely scrape a Z after sampling their early bird special. Gordon initially leaves but decides to come back and take a look at the kitchen. Not only are the plates stacked in the kitchen, ready to go out to the customers, still filthy, but so are the ovens and the floors. When he asks the owner Anthony about the cleaning schedule, he flippantly says that cleaning is down to the staff, and not him. The restaurant was seized after less than 1 month of the airing of the episode. Number 5. Hannah and Mason's. This New Jersey bistro is next on the menu, owned by Brian and Chris. Gordon watched on in horror as the team tried to roll out orders for Valentine's Day. First, he put them up on display on a dessert trolley, which was basically a bunch of week-old dishes shown to the customers so they could pick. Next, Gordon was horrified to discover a member of staff was sending out salads with rotten spinach on them. They even served that rotten dessert and the rotten fish leaking its delicious juices. Raw chicken and cooked chicken was put together. Hannah and Mason's closed after some time. Number 6. Finn McCool's. You'd think that being based on trendy West Hampton, Finn McCool's would have done quite well. When Gordon is served his shepherd's pie, it's so greasy that it throws up in the toilet. The next day, he goes and takes a look at the kitchen, and is aghast to find dusty shelves, a lot of aging bacon, and a shelf full of refrigerated shepherd's pies that are probably older than him. Cooked chicken wings are stored directly next to raw meat. Their plates and utensils are so filthy that they looked like water and a brush hadn't touched them for ages. It ceased in 2012. Well, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then let us know by giving it a thumbs up. We'll see you in another video. Until then, take care and goodbye.